Welcome to another life lesson from the James Wisdom. In today's video, I share a powerful and emotional story about betrayal, family secrets, and the lessons we learn when we least expect them. A man is left stunned when his son claims he will receive nothing from his ex-wife's $34 million estate. But when he meets the lawyer, an unexpected twist unfolds. What does this story reveal about family, trust, and revenge? Watch till the end for a shocking twist and valuable life lessons that will make you rethink your own priorities. Don't forget to subscribe and hit the bell icon so you don't miss the next lesson. Asterisk, dear friends. Life is a river of unpredictable turns. It flows with the force of unexpected events. Some are gentle, while others carry us into places we never thought we'd be. But it is in these turbulent moments that we find the true meaning of our lives. Today, I have a story that will teach us about the fragility of trust, the burden of betrayal, and the wisdom that comes from seeing through the smoke of anger and grief. Asterisk, once upon a time, there was a man who lived a life not unlike your own. He was married, had children, and like all of us, had hopes for the future. But as is often the case in this world, life is not as we plan it. He and his wife, after years of marriage, slowly drifted apart. Trust was broken, words were said that couldn't be taken back, and eventually they parted ways. They shared a child, a son who was the center of their world, or so he thought. The man moved on, as we all must, and he tried to find peace in the absence of the one who had once meant everything to him. But like an old wound, the pain never really healed. Asterisk, and then came the letter, the one that would change everything. The man received it from his ex-wife's lawyer. It was a formal letter, informing him that his ex-wife had passed away unexpectedly. He was shocked, of course, but it wasn't just the news of her death that shook him to his core. It was the contents of the will. Asterisk, you see, dear friends, the will contained an unexpected clause. His son, his own flesh and blood, had declared that his father would receive nothing from his ex-wife's $34 million estate. Nothing. The man, confused and distraught, couldn't understand why his son would say such a thing. What had changed between them? Why was his son turning against him? Asterisk, at first, he believed it must be a misunderstanding, but as time passed, it became clear that something darker was at play. His son, the one whom he had raised, the one whom he had loved deeply, had chosen to punish him for reasons that, at the time, were unclear. Was it greed? Was it anger over the broken family? Or was there something more? Whatever the cause, the man's heart shattered, not just from the loss of his ex-wife, but from the betrayal of his own son. Asterisk, sometimes, my friends, the truth hides in the shadows, waiting for us to face it. The man's grief was compounded by something else, something he hadn't even considered. In his search for answers, he discovered a secret that had been buried for years. His ex-wife, the woman he had loved, had been involved in an affair during their marriage. An affair with someone close to him, someone he had considered a friend. Asterisk, the affair was a silent killer. It had festered in the background of their lives, unseen but ever present. And it was this secret affair that had driven a wedge between father and son. The son, having learned of the affair, could not bear the thought of his father being with a woman who had betrayed him so deeply. His hatred for his father grew, fed by the secrecy and the hurt. The son, in his grief and confusion, chose to cut his father out of the equation entirely. Asterisk, but the story doesn't end here. The son's decision wasn't just a moment of anger, it was part of a larger plan, one that had been carefully crafted in the silence of his heart, a plan to get back at the man who had once been his hero. This silent revenge would be played out not through confrontation, but through the will through denying his father the inheritance he thought he was entitled to. Sometimes revenge doesn't come with loud shouts or dramatic confrontations. It comes quietly, in the form of a decision made in secret, and that, my friends, is the most dangerous kind of revenge. When the man met with the lawyer to discuss the will, he was prepared for the worst. He expected the lawyer to confirm what his son had said, that he would receive nothing. But instead, when the lawyer read the will, he laughed. Yes, laughed. It wasn't a laugh of cruelty or mockery, it was a laugh of revelation. The lawyer looked at the man, a glint of understanding in his eyes, and said, "You misunderstand, my friend. The will was a test. Your son has no idea what he's talking about. You are the rightful heir." You see, my friends, the ex-wife had known all along. She had known that her son would try to exact revenge on his father, and so she had intentionally placed the clause in the will. It was a test to see who would show their true character. The lawyer had known this all along and had simply played along with the charade. In that moment, the man realized that his ex-wife, despite all the pain and betrayal, had played her final card in a way that no one could have predicted. The man, though hurt and betrayed, now saw that his peace did not come from inheritance or material wealth. It came from knowing the truth. My friends, in life, we face moments of betrayal. Moments when those closest to us may seem to turn their backs on us. But it is in these moments that we must remember, true peace cannot be taken from you unless you allow it. The man found his peace not in the inheritance, but in the wisdom of understanding the deeper truth behind the betrayal. He found that it was the anger and grief he carried that held him captive, not the actions of others. Thank you for listening, my friends. Life is full of tests, but each test teaches us something valuable. I encourage you to reflect on this story. What will you do when faced with betrayal? Will you let it define you, or will you find peace beyond it? If this story has resonated with you, I ask you to share it. Let others learn from these lessons. And if you haven't yet, please subscribe to this channel for more wisdom. May you find peace in your heart, no matter what life brings.